Billy Joe Saunders' next opponent has been announced, and you won't believe who it is. You might not even know who it is when I tell you. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Shout out to ESPN Plus. I am an affiliate. It helps the channel. If you use my link, sign up. UFC. You got Waterson coming up. She got a big fight. UFC 244, Nate Diaz pay-per-view with Jorge Masvidal. Looking forward to that. But in other news, KSI Logan Paul 2, they speculated that Billy Joe Saunders would be on the card. Now it's confirmed. Billy Joe Saunders is going to defend his WBO World Super Middleweight title against Marcelo Esteban Coceres on November 9th. Part of the KSI Logan Paul 2 undercard. Listen, this is horrible. I don't know who the hell he's even fighting. Dazn and people involved with this KSI Logan Paul 2 fight, they kind of pitched this as a win-win for the sport of boxing. And, you know, we're going to put Devin Haney and Billy Joe Saunders on the undercard. Yeah. You know, to get everybody hyped, as if, you know, because there's criticism from the diehard boxing fans and the boxing community in general about why would DAZN even pick up KSI Logan Paul 2. You know, it just seemed kind of out of sorts. It's more of a, it's not really what people would call true boxing. And even though they're doing it without headgear, but they're, you know, they're two guys turning pro from YouTube fame. So people feel however they feel. You know, we all know what it is. It's a money grab. They feel that there's money there, and these guys draw enough of an audience, so they want to try to make some money out of it. So that is what it is. But they decided to, you know, use this as a catalyst to tell the boxing fan of how this would be impactful or beneficial to boxing fans. Like, hey, stay put, don't get angry. You know, this is going to be beneficial because we're going to have so many eyes watching this KSI Logan Paul 2 fight, and we're going to do this crossover card where we have actual boxers, like people who've been boxing their whole life, like Devin Haney and Billy Joe Saunders, and we're going to throw them on the card. But this is the fight you come up with, Esteban, you know, from Fresh. You know, who is this? Coceres? Like, who? Man, come on. Demetrius Andrade called out Billy Joe Saunders. They were already scheduled to fight. He said he would fight on this KSI Logan Paul 2 card. He said he would move up to 168, or they could do it at 60, right? And this is the fight that they came up with, right? It's just DAZN has to get their programming together. I can't even understand how this is going to get you in the green with matches like this. I also did a video about it. Early reports are suggesting that if Triple G cannot get Canelo, we obviously have to see what happens to Canelo Kovalev, but if Triple G and Canelo don't fight, then Triple G's first fight back in first quarter of next year would probably be his mandatory Camille Sheshmil, or, you know, I don't even know his name. So DAZN, they got to figure this out, because a lot of these fights, like, it's not even, it's like people that diehard boxing fans don't even know. You know, you got Usyk fighting Chaz Witherspoon, who last time I even really heard of him was back in like 2012-ish with Seth Mitchell, who I don't even think fights anymore. You know, former football player turned heavyweight. I haven't even really heard about Witherspoon since then, you know, and I thought he was retired, to be honest. And before that, it was supposed to be Tyrone Spong from the MMA world. Now, you know, these aren't really big names. And then even worse than that, because Usyk, you know, worst case scenario, he's first fight in the heavyweight division, whatever, you know, and then a 1 week replacement to Tyrone Spong. But now it's Billy Joe Saunders versus Coceres, and they're talking about Triple G versus Camille Sejel, Like this is hilarious at this point. It is really becoming farcical, and it's so funny and so obvious. Like I've said before, Dazn must have people in place that have money. They have the conduit to get boxing out, like, you know, in terms of having their own platform and camera crew, audio and stuff like that. But they do not have people that understand the sport of boxing. It has to be, because these matches, and especially if you're paying Triple G $15 million, how are you going to how is that sustainable? Paying Triple G $15 million for a guy like Camille Chezwil, you know, that, what are you expecting? Steve Rolls, how are you going to get a return on your investment? You know, you're trying to make this KSI Logan Paul 2 card big, and then you got Billy Joe Saunders, and it is literally Billy Joe versus someone. Like, you couldn't get like Billy Joe versus Porky Medina. You know, at least we've seen David Benavidez and also Caleb Plant fight Porky Medina along with others. So Porky Medina, he's, you know, not really a world beater, but he has an action style. And for Billy Joe Saunders, who's a champion, but he's new-ish to the division, I think even that would be a better fight. You know, Billy Joe versus Jose Uzcategui. Caleb Plant dropped him twice, right? And he's still a good fighter. There has to be someone else with a name that makes a bit more sense than some of these fights that are happening. And please don't tell me about the alleged mandatories, because the mandatory shit is becoming bullshit in boxing, where you could, I'm without a doubt, these companies are paying to have people ranked or moved up the rankings and shit, and put it, there has to be something, because it's all too convenient. When Triple G has a good mandatory like Charlo or Sergey Derenchenko last year, the fight don't happen. But then now his mandatory is allegedly some guy with 4 knockouts, you know, Camille Chezwil, and then that fight's easy to be made. Like, come on. So whatever it is, this Dazn, they said it's Dazn fight season, it's the season. These names just don't bring appeal, and it's ironic, it's funny, and it's really laughable that you have a product that you're trying to sell to Americans, and it's so un-American. And what I mean by that is, you got guys who, it's not like you have to be from America, because I know there's great fighters from around the world, but what I'm saying is guys who haven't even been branded in America one bit. Like, nobody knows their past work, they don't know their resume. There's different guys who aren't from America yet, and they still have a name, you know, like Maidanas, guys like that. They're not from America. Matisse, Diego Chavez, they're all from Argentina, but they still have a brand. Like Diego Chavez fought against Tim Bradley. Diego Chavez fought against Keith Thurman, right? And the list goes on. This is different. They're like really pulling out random names, and people are like, who? Like, who is this? And these are random guys from like just España and like just random places. And they don't have any type of brand, and they're making this like these are big fights. And you're trying to, you have to keep in mind, Dazn is a paid subscription. If you're just signing up, it's $20 a month, $19.99. That's $20 a month, penny difference, $20 a month, and we don't even know who these guys are. Like, it's just a hard sell, a really hard sell. You're trying to sell to the American public, no 30-day trial. Raise the prices on the monthly. It used to be $9.99, now it's $19.99, and this is what you're giving us. Billy Joe Saunders versus Coceres. The fights are falling apart. Failed drug tests, pullouts. You know, we couldn't get even Joey DeVecco. His name is at least buzzing. His name is buzzing from the Joshua saga. We can't get Joey DeVecco versus Usyk for his heavyweight debut. That's not even like, you know, it's not even the end all be all. Joey DeVecco is not on anybody's really top 5 list right now, and that's no shade to him, but I don't know, out of all the heavyweights, I don't think he's in the top 5, right? but he's still a good fighter. He's still a solid fighter, and he would make a compelling fight. You're putting fights on your network. It's supposed to be competition. It's supposed to be, you know, challenges and different stuff. But it seems to be like, especially with the Joshua losing to Ruiz and Triple G really lost to Derevchenko, it's like they're really trying to play it safe. And you're like, no. And Derevchenko, or excuse me, yeah, the Derevchenko, he put Triple G in a bad position stock wise. And then when you look at Usyk versus Chaz Witherspoon, what is that about? You know, Joey DeVecco, I made a video about it. He reamed Eddie Hearn, says he was sent a contract, and then they went a different direction because they didn't want no smoke. So yeah, Dazn season, they got to figure this out. Let me know what you guys think. That's Billy Joe Saunders' next opponent. Don't know of him. If you've heard of him, let me know in the comment section what you know him for. Name his top 3 fights or something. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.